Alright folks, just a quick video. Just had a walk with the doggies. And just a quick video to say Covie did fantastically well. Compared to last night, she was fantastic tonight. But last night, when we got back to the car after the first trip around the park, I called her, she would not come back. She kept on running off. Eventually got her in the car, or got her to come to the car. After about 5 minutes or 6 minutes, yeah. She was a pain in the butt yesterday. But today, yep, called her. She came to me straight away. Yeah, she did very, very well. A lot better today. Well, I've been using the vibrate collar, to get her to come when called, and and I've only used it about 3 times. Started it today, and it seems to be working beautifully well. They've done a fantastic job today. She's been brilliant. Oh, as you see in the video earlier, she was playing with Micky on the way back to the car as well, like she does indoors, chasing and all that lot. Bit of play fighting. Fantastic. That's exactly what you want to see. Well, that video has still got another 2 hours and 16 minutes to do, so yes. Well, it's a big size. It's pretty impressive. It's 22 gig. So, yeah, 22.1 gigabytes. 22.1 gigabytes. Yeah, that's why it takes a while. Well, you might as well have decent quality to watch, really. I did do a video tonight as I was walking around, but again, there wasn't really enough putting it. I spoke a bit about Man United, about the fact that they're, again, lackluster performance. Half time, 1 shot on target again. Really, really poor. Yeah, and the stupidity of starting with James when you've got Cavani on the bench. The only player was really good in the out front. Yeah, because James is there to put crosses in to no one, basically, just to give the goalkeeper catching practice, really. And then the fact of playing Lindelof, when Lindelof really, for months, has had a back injury, where you've got Bailly on the bench, who's by far our best defender, by a long way. Bailly's already said he's leaving in the summer. He's going to walk out. He will not sign this contract extension. Because he knows it's just a way of trying to get more money for him when they sell him. That's what it is. That's why they offered it to him. They don't actually want him to stay at the club because Ollie is a complete moron when it comes to management. And the board are complete morons when it comes to managing the club. They haven't got the foggiest notion, have they, really? The board? Not at all. No, they have not got a clue. So, yeah. Not a good situation in any way, shape, or form. But, I mean, look, the situation with Man United is the same as it was, really, for a few decades. Yeah, they're making money, the owners, they don't care about really challenging right now. They're happy for a top 4 finish. Qualify for Europe, that's cool. They get money coming in. They don't need to spend big in the summer, so therefore they'll be fine with that. They get money coming in, they can spend some of that money on new players, and then basically put the rest of the money in their bank accounts. They're happy with that. Yeah, they're satisfied with that. Indeed. It is what it is, yeah. And the thing of it is that if they don't care, the players aren't going to care. If the players aren't going to care, then the fans shouldn't care in any way, shape, or form. The fans shouldn't. I mean, it's the same as any business. If the owners of the business don't care, the workers won't care, therefore the customers won't care. The customers will go somewhere else. that should be reality with regards to fans of football. It isn't, because unfortunately fans of sports teams tend to be a bit more religious in their beliefs than customers do of businesses. So, yeah. There's a Border Collie when I got her as a puppy. So my number one baby. When she was a baby, she was tiny. She was tiny, wasn't she? Look at that tiny little baby asleep on one of my shoes. Those shoes are long gone, but we've still got Mollie Collie. What a beautiful baby girl she is. Mollie as a puppy. Of course, now we've got Covie. I'm keeping Covie, her puppy. So, cute. Of course, we've got Micky, who's a puppy as well. I seem to be tired. That was a big yawn, that wasn't. So, yeah. Anyway, so as I said, with regards to football, yeah, it's what it is. They've got a game coming up on the weekend against Tottenham. That'd be interesting. But put it this way, the team they're playing tonight, where they performed so badly, that whole team costs less than, certainly less than Pogba gets in a year. And that has to, yeah, that should be saying something in itself, shouldn't it, really? That in the half-time, United had one shot on target against a team that costs less than Pogba gets in a year to put together. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous that team costs 8 million to put together. But it's also ridiculous that United can only get one shot on target against a team that costs 8 million to put together. That's just insane. And yeah, if United had Abramovich as owner, Ollie wouldn't have survived 2 seasons. He'd have been sacked last summer. He would have been sacked. But he wasn't. But he would have been. Had they had the Chelsea manager. Had they had the Tottenham manager, he would have been sacked. Had they had the management of Arsenal, he probably would have been sacked by now. But United have got the Glazers and they've got Woodward. And because they've sacked Moyes, Van Gaal, and then Jose, they don't really want to sack the manager they've got now. Especially when it's a more compliant manager. One that won't moan and complain. An ex-player who's just delighted to have. We never thought he could ever be the manager of Man United. But of course, Moyes probably never thought he could be the manager of Man United. Certainly, Louis Van Gaal would have assumed that he could certainly manage a club as big as United. Jose Mourinho definitely thought he was big enough to manage a club like Man United. But the thing you get with a manager who doesn't believe that they were big enough to manage a club like Man United is compliance. Because they don't want to lose a job. They don't want to be sacked. So they want to be a yes, sir, no, sir to the boss. To the owners. They don't want to upset the apple cart in any way, shape or form. As an ex-player, what we should be seeing from him, as someone who professes to love the club, is that he should have been coming out certainly last summer, and saying, yeah, I really wanted Sancho. I think the club failed miserably not getting him. He should have come out and done it. Now, maybe he would have got fired. That's quite possible. But that may have helped the club in the future. Because when the media asking questions, the club would have had to have started thinking about, okay, what are we doing here? As a club, what are we doing here? Jose saying that at the end of a transfer window, different matter. Ollie saying it as an ex-player, as a person who had managed reserves under Fergie. Yeah, different matter completely. That's going to hold a lot more weight with the media and with the fans. Especially a manager who really never believed he would have the possibility of managing Manchester United. To then stand up and risk losing his job. To be truthful. That would have had power. But he's not going to do it, is he? I don't think there's any way, shape or form he's going to do it. No. Final thing I want to say is, I've said it before, but I will say it again. People have got to start taking a bit more notice of politicians and what they say. You've got to start figuring out these people. Because they're a bunch of liars, con artists, and certainly over COVID, certainly in the UK, we've been led astray massively. And they keep on moving the goalposts. People have got to start taking notice, and they've got to stop complying to the government, really. To every whim of the government and every whim of these scientists. I mean, they told us that lockdown was the answer. Then they told us that another lockdown was the answer. Then they told us that the vaccine would be the answer. Now they're telling us, God knows what they're telling us. Well, vaccine passports is one thing, which of course won't fix a thing. What's it supposed to do? I mean, people are, generally speaking, getting the vaccines, so therefore it's not going to make a difference in that way. All it's going to do is ostracize people who decide they don't want to get the vaccine for whatever reason they don't want to get the vaccine, which they should have every single right to make that decision. Because, of course, the politicians won't admit that the vaccine is compulsory. But anyone suggesting a vaccine passport is basically saying the vaccine has to be compulsory. Yeah, the same people who told us that if we voted for Brexit, they would honour it. Of course, what they were basically saying, they would honour the result of the referendum if we voted the way they wanted us to. They lied to us then. How do you know they're not lying to us now? Look at Sadiq Khan, who's the mayor of London. Look at the crap he comes out with. Absolute lies this man comes out with all the time. He's a weak little man. Most of the politicians in the country are worth nothing. Nothing at all. Whether Labour or Tory. Sorry. COVID has proved that. They've complied completely with the government. I mean, the Labour Party are supposed to hold the government to account. They have not done so. They have not asked questions when they should have done. They've completely failed in their duties. So they are people that we shouldn't take any notice of. And the government themselves, they've given their power to scientists, people that were not elected. Not good enough. And the way the goalposts keep on being moved again. At some point, people have got to stand up and say, come on, enough. You told us originally lockdowns wouldn't work. Then you told us you wanted us to lock down to save the NHS. But that happened. We did that. But then you locked us down again. You told us that everything would be okay once we got a vaccine. Well, we got a vaccine. Everyone took the vaccine. Who was offered it? You then move the goalposts again. How many more times are you going to keep doing this? And don't believe the answer. If you ask the question, don't believe the answer they give. Because you can't. You're basically just going to say enough. Got to stop being compliant. I've already said that in the video, but yeah, people have got to stop being compliant. I mean, thankfully now, it seems as if football players aren't bending down to Black Lives Matter anymore. However, that doesn't mean TV programs showing football aren't bowing down to it, because they still are. They're showing adverts for Black Lives Matter. They shouldn't be. It's a political organisation, and they shouldn't be doing that. But they are. But that was also compliance, and that had to stop, and that has finally sort of stopped. And thank God for, the few people that initially started, refusing to do that. That's now got other people realising they don't have to do it anymore. So that's good. We will see that disappearing from sport, hopefully, fairly soon. Which would be good. Certainly a step in the right direction. There's too much compliance that people have been willing to be part of. I said earlier the issue of the left and the fact that this idea that you can solve racism with being racist towards the type of people that would be the ones who were racist years ago. But you turn it on them and that makes it okay. It's like, no, it doesn't. But there are people being compliant where that's concerned. Not stand up and say, excuse me, you're being racist. In doing that, you're being racist. Pack it up. If most of society stood up and said that, then this whole movement would end. All the nonsense about equal pay for women and saying that even though women are pretty much paid equally, that they're not, because women's rights people have mucked around with the numbers in a way that make it look as if that is the case. Because they say that generally speaking, they can make it look as if women are paid less, even though when you look at equal workers, people doing the same jobs, the same hours, that have been at a company for the same amount of time, their pay is the same. Quite often the women actually get paid more than the men. But there's been a compliance with all that. People have sort of known it's nonsense, but they won't say anything against it because they're afraid of being attacked. We've got to end the attacking. We've got to challenge the cancel culture. That's something that has to be done. And then we've got to challenge these stupid beliefs. And if anyone starts attacking, then we've got to come back very hard on them as a society to put a stop to it, to say no more. Society's gone in a very, very weird way. And if it continues, then it's going to be bizarre. We're not going to have any decent comedians in the future. Music is going to be basically like fascist countries banning certain books and banning certain artists and comedians and banning certain films. They've already tried that, haven't they? Gone with the Wind got banned for a while. Certain books have been banned, certain records have been banned. I mean, even on the radio, they play that song. God, who is it? Jeez, who is it? Kids Summit or whatever. What was it on? Not there. Won't be there. I don't know if it's here either, is it? What was that song? Without You, the Kid, the Boy. there's lyrics in that. I mean, basically, the song's talking about can't make a wife out of a hoe. And of course, what does the radio do? They take the word hoe away. Mickey, shush. Quite damn it. So they take the word hoe out when they play the song. And a swear word is in it as well. Now, they take that out. So they take that out because the word hoe might be offensive to some people. But they don't do anything about hoes. You know, people that actually want to be a hoe or are being hoes, they sort of celebrate that. But they won't have the word said because that might be offensive. Well, look, it's a lot more offensive to the people who have suffered at the hands of a hoe than it is for those people to hear the word hoe. That's not very offensive in any way, shape, or form. We've got to look at our priorities, right? It's far more important to stop men and women from being hoes than to stop people using the word hoe. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. If you think it's that offensive, think about the whole point of what they're talking about there. You can't make a wife out of a hoe. Why? Why not? Who are they talking about as in a hoe? You got men and women who can be hoes. Maybe people that sleep around and people that have extramarital affairs and stuff like that. People that have no respect for their partners. In that sense. They have no respect for their relationships. And are quite happy to absolutely break someone's heart. That is far more offensive than the word hoe. But there you go. These are things that we've got to challenge in the future. Yeah. The removing of certain words because they're offensive, even though what they describe as far more offensive is just stupidity. Absolute blinking stupidity. But again, it's trying to protect. They don't want to offend anyone. Well, I'm sorry, but people are going to get offended. They are. Well, in my days, we had Relax. The BBC Radio 1 banned the song Relax. It got to number 1. It wasn't that good a song. Really, it wasn't that good a song. Part of the reason it got to number 1 is because they banned it. Simple as that, they banned it. That's part of the reason why it got to number 1. That had language in it that makes, hoe sound incredibly nice. Yeah. So, it's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. We seem to have got soft in today's society. We seem to have generation after generation after generation that have got softer and softer and softer and more offended by nothing. Yeah, that's the reality. That picture there's an odd one. We've got Riley in that picture. There's Riley there. And yet the bedding. All there is one duvet on the floor. One duvet on the floor. Now there's about 8 duvets on the floor. Riley would have been about 2 years old then. So in the last 2 years, they've acquired about another 6 duvets. That's because I bought the duvets and then realised they're no good to me. They have them. Yeah. Indeed. Anyway, there you go. You take care, God bless, and I will speak to you soon. Bye bye.